Welcome to Social Wars. I think as marketers it's important to know not only the platform we're planning to invest time and money into marketing our businesses, but also the competition and where the platform we're doing diligence on sits in the media landscape. 2009, there'll be more information published this year than has been in history. The information's not what we pay for. It's out there. Now, if I've convinced you of that, you'll agree that our ability to refine, organise and present information and innovation between real people is where opportunity lies 2009 and beyond. The social utilities that are out there, the big three, Google, Facebook and Twitter, are competing for our attention. Their revenue model is anchored to their ability to organise qualified data, because without it, advertising cannot be intelligent, thus it's not valuable. Advertisers and marketers pay to have their message put in front of targeted consumers. The greater volume of user-generated data, the more recent, relevant, valuable the information extracted, and the better presented to consumers, the more revenue available for advertising. In social media, new media, you don't get bigger than Facebook, Google and Twitter today. Now, as much as they're all in the same space and competing in what would appear to be one race, they're not all the same. Google, for a long time, have earned our trust as having the best ability to organise the world's information for us. They turned marketing on its head. Before Google, consumers were on lists of telemarketers who hunted us. Google put us in the driver's seat, enabled us to put words into a search engine and present us a list of merchants. The hunted became the hunters. And for the last 5 years, merchants have been doing all they can to get themselves higher up in those lists. The Google model is limited because knowledge actually exists within people. The Google spiders crawl the open web looking for information exchanges through 55 trillion links. And the underlying Google economy, as with the underlying Facebook economy and Twitter economy, is return on investment. We search Google for information, they display pages. The more frequent the exchanges of information and the updates, the more important the page. Google's next generation architecture will push the envelope on size, index speed, accuracy and comprehensiveness amongst other dimensions. And we're going to analyse the Google search engine, the new Google search engine, which is in their sandbox at the moment, Caffeine, against their current search engine, which is in production. The Google interface is simple, always has. It's the engine that sets Google apart, but they're under threat from both Twitter and Facebook. Now, Twitter is the fastest growing social utility on the internet. Real-time search, Twitter has taught us that the rate of exchange in information is the best indicator of the value, and the more exchanges between individuals, the more authority the information being exchanged must carry. Both Google and Facebook have learned from Twitter in this regard. Twitter is now an alert system. It notifies us all of the changing information much the same way Google spiders used to do, except it's people that are doing the spidering in Twitter, not bots. And in Twitter, we don't need to pull information as we do in Google. We have to put words in. Google has to send us information. If we don't put the words in, we don't know about the information. In Twitter, we follow somebody and the information is pushed to us. Twitter's the first social platform to deliver new ideas, improved information and user feedback. A perfect example was the BBC learned of the recent earthquakes in China through Twitter, through people tweeting it happening live in real time. They got this information before getting the information from their usual data source. And then there's Facebook. Facebook's platform is phenomenal. It's a people search platform. The relationships are deeper. Twitter's an asymmetrical communication platform, which means you can follow someone who doesn't have to necessarily follow you back. Twitter facilitates 4 kinds of relationships. You can follow, you can be followed, you can be friends, which is following each way, or no relationship or no connection at all. Twitter allows us to have a large number of followers than followees, which amounts to the attention capabilities between people as not being equal. This attention inequality is the foundation of Twitter's service. Relationships are founded on attention. Now, Twitter makes our information public by default, and it's growing, as you can see on the graph in front of you, it's growing at phenomenal rates because it's alerting us all of current events before traditional news channels. Facebook, on the other hand, our information is private by default. Facebook sharing has always been symmetrical. Friends reciprocate, which forces users to keep track of friends whether we want to or not. You cannot become a friend of somebody and follow them in Facebook unless they accept your friendship reciprocate. Facebook's goal is to model the social graph of real relationships between real people. Relationships are founded on personal interaction. The rise of Twitter has forced Facebook into relaxing its privacy rules, turning it into a hybrid model of permission-based updates. I'm going to show you how to maximize the opportunity in Facebook using this very phenomenon. You can grow a much bigger follow list in Twitter because the investment, people's time and energy into a follow on Twitter is a lot less than an investment in a relationship with someone in Facebook. The Twitter purchased Surmise, a Twitter search engine. They now run a search engine at search.twitter.com, and we're going to go in and have a look at that. Facebook have just launched its real-time search engine, as Google have just launched the new engine under its hood. Likewise, Google has just released its new social widgets and its new social updates in iGoogle. So what we're seeing is Google moving into the social networking space. We see Facebook moving into the real-time search space, and we see Twitter moving into the real-time search space. So the common denominator here is search, information, entertainment, real-time. And once we've looked at this graph, we're going to go in and we're going to do some comparisons. I'm going to take you into all three search engines just so that we can put things into perspective before we move into looking closely at Facebook. Now if you have a look at the graph here, we've got Google, 146 million unique visits monthly. Now the key here is their monthly increase, 0.37% a month, or 7.5%. Facebook, 122.5 million unique visits, a monthly increase, 8.5%. Yearly growth, 248%. These numbers here tell me that Facebook is potentially going to become the 1,000-pound gorilla over the next 5 years. I think it's going to move ahead on these statistics here. It's going to move ahead of Google. Twitter, on the other hand, 23 million unique visits, so nearly 1/6 of Facebook and Google. Monthly increase is 16%, and a yearly growth a whopping 1,100%. I think if you do the numbers and you have a look at the number of unique visits now and the growth rate, I think if Facebook stopped growing, Twitter would still take 20 or 30 years to catch them. And Facebook's not stopping. Facebook's growing faster and faster every month. So I would say that Twitter's got Buckley's and none of catching Facebook. This is unique visits. I'd say visits, Google would be double Facebook because we go to Google 2 or 3 times a day each, whereas Facebook we usually go once a day every second day, but we do spend 20 minutes on average in Facebook a day. And you'll see the graph. You'll see Facebook on the rise. This is the new Google engine. So if I put in the search phrase latest up-to-date news, let's search to see what Google, the new engine. Now here's the key, looking at the load time, 3,490,000,000 news stories. Now let's go over now to the current Google engine. Okay, so this is google.com. And let's do the same search. Look at that, 36 million results. So from 4.5 billion to 36.5 million in less than a second. Let's go into the up-to-date news. Let's go into CNN and have a look at what the latest news is. Alright, so here we go. Afghans to go to the polls. Front page, updated 34 minutes ago. Okay. Let's take the title. Let's go into the Google search engine, google.com, their current search engine. Afghan vote. So this is the title on CNN's news. 34 minutes ago it was updated on CNN. So let's go and have a look at what Google search brings us on CNN. So there's the CNN result that we've just come from 2 hours ago. And let's see what Twitter brings us for these keywords. Afghans vote 3 minutes ago. Alright. So here you can see the power of Twitter. Now this is person to person. So these aren't bots, these are humans. Afghan votes in second ever election under the menacing threat of violence from Taliban. Okay, 3 minutes ago. Let's see where that story takes us. CNN, same page. If we do the same search in Facebook, you can see here you've got all of your filters, people, pages, no people, because it's current news, it's too current to have any established community around it. I can search by my friends to see which of my friends are talking about the vote in Afghan. Now I don't have many friends in that part of the world, so I'm not going to have a great deal of response there. But if I go to everybody, and you'll see by looking at posted by everyone, the same CNN story can be sourced on Facebook 35 seconds